Today we're going to talk about my favorite American family car, and it's, is it this? No, I don't think so. Let's flip the camera over. Now back to my favorite American family car. This makes 640 horsepower and 600 pound-feet of torque with an 8.4 liter V10. Now hold on, I know what you're thinking. A Dodge Viper can't be a family car. Well, that's where you're wrong. Check this over here. So I like for my family to be close to me. So I figured if I got a Dodge Viper, my family will always be close. Think about it. There's no way for them to get in the back seat. There's no type of distractions. They're going to focus on me, and I get to love them just like I'm loving the car. Think about it. This is the ultimate family car. It's a Dodge Viper. Now, when you're buying a Viper, you'd probably go for something like red interior or black interior, but this has like a saddle brown. That's actually really cool. These are seatbelt seats, which I actually have a personal connection to because the Fiat 500 Abarth in Europe, you could get those with seatbelt seats, but you can't get them in America with seatbelt seats, which actually sucks because these are really cool seats and the seats, never mind, I'm going on a tangent. But anyway, I love that. So you're probably wondering why I'm sitting so uncomfortably right now. Well, this is super hot. If you remember in the first gen Viper, this was like literally just your exhaust. Now they have a little cover over it, which is like your door seal and all that fun stuff. I just burnt myself on this. It still gets hot. So don't let this little cover fool you. You're still gonna get pretty warm. I can smell my skin. This is not good. So you're still not on board with the Viper being a family car. That's okay. I can understand your confusion. Well, I have my backpack here. Let's say you have 4 kids, okay, and you have to fit their backpacks in the Viper. Well, you can do that. One backpack here, one backpack on top of this backpack, one backpack here, and another backpack on top of that backpack. And then after that, let's say they have friends. You want to put their friends' backpacks in the car. Okay, well, you can do that. Backpack here and a backpack here. How do you pick up the kids? Send your wife in the expedition. It makes sense, right? So let's say little Johnny got a D in math. You know what you tell little Johnny to do? You say, little Johnny, sit in the car. Then you tell him to stick his leg out. He'll touch this exhaust and he will never get a D again in his life. That's how you parent. If you have a heavy foot, do not buy a Viper. This car is meant to kill you, especially the second and first gen. Those cars were raw, insane, but this car has a little bit of nanny. So you're okay, but I'm telling you, do not buy a Viper if you have a heavy foot. You will end up in trouble. So this thing has traction control, which makes me less afraid of it than if it was an older Viper that doesn't have any nannies, and then you'd kind of be all over the road dying. Literally. Okay, we're gonna let it open a little bit, see what it does. No way! Okay, so that's a Viper. That's what a Viper, okay, I see now, I see. Okay, it's not just a game. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. This thing is nuts. Like stupid. And you're so low to the ground, it feels really good. Just so easy to drive. Actually, but the suspension is very bumpy, right? So it makes you feel unsettled. Like, I feel like at any second, this car will lose the rear end and I'm fucked. That's what this car feels like. I don't know if it's so light back there or what's going on, but this thing feels very unsettling, but it's fun. And the engine has a very crisp, distinct note. I've never heard a motor that sounded like this besides like an older, let's compare it to oh my gosh, just an old car, like an old stroker motor, right? This thing sounds like an old stroker motor. It sounds really good. And it's just really fun to drive. This is a beautiful car. It's different. This is a very unique car. The way it drives is like nothing I've ever driven before. And that is insane. Like, this feels like a track car. Like, not from the suspension aspect, but from the rawness. The power is just there and it wants to hurt you. This thing wants to hurt you really bad. a Viper, baby. Wow. I can't yell because the mic volume is probably too loud, but wow, this is fun. This is crazy. This is a game changer. I need, oh wow. This is everything I'd want in a car. Like, it's unpredictable and it's crazy. Like, the back end just hops and it feels like you're gonna die. Like, there must not be any weight back there, like, at all. The motor up here must be just super heavy, and that means there's nothing back there at all. Like, it just pulls for no reason. What gear is that? Third gear? If you have a Viper, you're a very lucky person. Such a cool car. I have a new respect for these now. I've always thought they were cool, but I was like, okay, ACR or bust. That's the motto for me, or motto for me, but now it's like, okay, screw it, this is cooler. Like, you have to be a man to drive this car. You can't be a little Corvette driving person and think you're just gonna hop in a Viper and take off. No, you have to be a different breed of person to drive this car. Sorry, if you're a Vet owner, you know, that's great, but this thing's different, man. This thing's different. I wouldn't lie to you. Putting it in first gear and thinking that you're parking the Viper. JK, you actually want to make sure you put it in reverse, not first gear. This is probably one of my new favorite cars that I've driven so far. Like, okay, this doesn't have the cool factor as something like a McLaren or a GT3 RS or something like that, but this thing has the fun factor to beat out all of those, because this is unpredictable. This is scary to drive. Like, this doesn't feel very refined, and I like that. Now, the original Viper, that was probably way worse than this, and I can say it was way worse than this because this has traction control. So if I didn't have traction control on some of these things, I would have died. But, you know, we didn't die, so we're good. Let's go ahead and turn this off. Run. That must mean fun in Spanish. Oh, that's hot. This is hot. Watch out for this because it's hot. Very hot. Harman Kardon sound system, but who needs that when you're in a Viper?